our country Bharat is land of such place where not only we have all the 12 Jyotirlingas, we have the Shakti Peeth, we have so many of spiritual places, but we are the place of such ideas. So when we see 2047, then I think this idea should be in the heart of as many as Bhartiya as possible. So we try that at Banasthali, the students do not work with just a lower order purpose of existence. One purpose which is followed more by the Western world is the lower order purpose of existence, in which you would like to become very rich, you should have all the money, you should have resources, you should have the best of the health. And even if it comes at the cost of others, it is fine. That's where you find the US, finding it so natural and so ethical to sell weapons in the entire world. And on the other side, thinking about themselves as a country which is promoting peace. एक समय था जब हमारे देश को सोने की चिड़िया कहा जाता था। तो अब सोने की चिड़िया कहा जाता था तो हर कोई उस चिड़िया को पकड़ना चाहता था, और मुगलों ने और विदेशी ताकतों ने सब ने कुछ समय तक उसको पकड़ा भी। लेकिन यदि हम थोड़ी देर के लिए सोचें कि सोने की चिड़िया की बजाय हम यदि स्वर्ण सिंह होते, गोल्डन लायन, तो क्या कोई हमें हाथ लगाने का हिम्मत कर सकता था? भारत का समय हमारे वर्तमान यशस्वी आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में अब आ गया है। अभी हम देखें 2014 के बाद में जो क्रांतिकारी परिवर्तन देश में हुए हैं, उनसे अब कोई संदेह नहीं है कि 2047 में 2047 we are all set to become very big as a nation. So if as a Bhartiya we are just complacent with the fact that we will be a developed country by 2047, already we are the 4th largest economy in the world, and we can surpass Germany also in some years to come. But who had thought in 2014 that so fast will become the 4th largest economy in the world? But it has come up. So same way, if everything goes fine, and particularly after 2014, as we are seeing that the governance has become so good, so 2047, there is no doubt that India can become a developed country. But the thing is that what would be the platform, how we will go about, how we would, what kind of vision we have, how we would be known ourselves. So there I feel that if India develops itself, if Bharat develops itself in such a way that we are a golden lion, then I think it will be a completely different picture. And for that, we need to make progress on the side of technology and on the side of defense. Because again, if we grow well, we become golden. And again, if someone looks at us and tries to do all the sort of things which happened at the time of Mughals and the British, then again the same story would be there some years and years after. So it is very important to think about becoming a golden lion. So this would be laid on the platform of innovation and on the platform of Bhartiyata, and also considering defense as very strategic and very important, and developing the right kind of partnerships, so that our development is not merely confined to boosting the per capita income or having an inclusion, but also along with that we should have higher per capita happiness. For example, every Bhartiya should become more Bhartiya, and thereby we are able to contribute not just to ourselves but also able to help the rest of the world to become better in line with Vasudev Kutumbakam. So this is what I feel, that 2047 our country should move towards a path whereby we become a golden lion. Banasthali Vidyapith started its work in 1935. in women's education, and it's a kind of social entrepreneurship mission that was carried since 1935 by our founders, Pandit Hiralal Shastri and Srimati Ratan Shastri ji. And our journey has been always full of innovations, because we started with a 5-fold education system for complete personality development of women, which is also called as Panchmukhi Shiksha. And following the cultural roots, this university has grown from 5 students in 1935 to 17,000 girl students today, as we see 2025. And we feel that our future will be extremely bright, and particularly linking up with 2047, I think Banasthali will have a lot to contribute and should contribute, because we believe that if educational institutions do not imbibe culture, orient the students in the right way, do the proper character building, and do the human quality development, then who will? And also the emphasis on patriotism and the nation as a whole, and considering the institutional citizenship and the citizenship of the nation, each and every Bharti has to contribute. So in line with that, since 1935 the university has been working, and now I would say if we see the modern Banasthali, then we had visionaries like Professor Divakar Shastri, who worked a lot for the cause of women's education, and then his son Professor Aditya Shastri also. Both of them are no more there with us, but their vision, their ideas, their blessings are always there to help Banasthali to do better in the time to come. So in that backdrop we have been working, and then now we have Professor Eena Shastri, who is the Vice Chancellor right now, and she also has a vision whereby the university can contribute to the development of the nation in 2047. And Professor Siddharth Shastri, who is the president of the university, has been also very instrumental in that regard. So coming to the initiatives that you asked about, which Banasthali has taken up, so the first thing that I would like to mention is that Banasthali has been emphasizing on the merit of spirituality. So we have been telling the students that if you see the extreme of materialism, then you find many examples like 80-year-old man marrying a 25-year-old girl, and opposite things are also happening. So these are some examples of the extreme of materialism. Now if we want to have a holistic view of this, then we should see what happened after Mahabharata, when Pandavas asked Bhagwan Krishna that what will be the future of the world and what is going to come up in Kali Yuga. So Bhagwan Krishna shot arrows in different directions and asked the Pandavas to go there and see what is happening. So I would request everyone who is listening to this talk to please Google it and see that what happened and what kind of stories, and also it gives us a perspective of the Kali Yuga. So what is going to happen in this Kali Yuga is something captured more by no one but Bhagwan Krishna, and accordingly we find the extreme of materialism. But now if we see the extreme of spirituality, so what is the extreme of spirituality? So for example, we tell the students that the extreme of spirituality is something very, very interesting. Our great sages, they have always maintained that we have chakras in our body, and the self-realization that you do through the chakras help you in oneness with God, because spirituality can also be defined as oneness with God. So we try that the students are imbibed in this. So now coming back to it, that the extreme of spirituality. So one great rishi, he said that when I do the dhyan, then just at the bottom of my backbone, I do the darshan of Bhagwan Ganesh. And just below my stomach, I find another chakra where I do the darshan of Bhagwan Brahma. Then towards the middle of the stomach, I find another chakra, and there I can find the darshan of Bhagwan Vishnu. Then when I move up somewhat closer to the heart, then there is another chakra where I can do the darshan of Bhagwan Shankar. Then when I move up and move towards the middle of my throat, at that place I do the darshan of Devi Mata. Then and I move further up, then between my eyebrows, that is the Trikuti, so there I can do the darshan of Bhagwan Surya. And at the top of the head, which is the Param Brahma, so at that place I find such a light, such a power, and I feel that that power is giving light to everyone around. Now, things do not stop here, because this is something that is so unique of our philosophy and culture. The Rishi also says then that now this secret appearance of mine, which I have discovered, after this I am not able to make out that to whom I should bow, because now I can do the darshan of all the Bhagwan inside my body. So, in this context, there is a bhajan which I would like to recite, and this bhajan is the interpretation that I have given you earlier. The core comes from this bhajan, which comes from a rishi of Dhut, Sri Nityanandji Guru Maharaj. So I will just tell this, and we tell this to our students also. मूल चक्र माहि गणेश विराजत, स्वाद चक्र माहि कियो अजवासा, मूल चक्र माहि गणेश। नाभि कमल में विष्णु विशंभर, नाभि कमल में विष्णु विशंभर, हृदय कमल महादेव निवासा, मूल चक्र माहि गणेश। कंठ कमल में बसे देवी नित, कंठ कमल में बसे देवी नित, त्रिकुटी कमल मां सूर्य उजासा, मूल चक्र माहि गणेश। सहस्त्र कमल में आप विराजे, सहस्त्र कमल में आप विराजे, जाके प्रकाश से सब प्रकाशा, मूल चक्र माहि गणेश। मम गुप्त स्वरूप से न्यारो नहीं कछुआ, मम गुप्त स्वरूप से न्यारो नहीं कछु, काके नमाऊं कहो अब माथा, मूल चक्र माहि गणेश। So Devashish ji, just to give a recap further, so this bhajan that comes, that bhajan mentions the extreme of the spirituality. So our country Bharat is land of such place where not only we have all the 12 Jyotirlingas, we have the Shakti Peeth, we have so many of spiritual places, but we are the place of such ideas. So when we see 2047, then I think this idea should be in the heart of as many as Bhartiya as possible, because the moment this happens, then the entire perspective of life changes. So we try that at Banasthali, the students do not work with just a lower order purpose of existence. Why? Because somebody said that the purpose of life is life of purpose. So we asked ourselves, what is the purpose? So one purpose which is followed more by the Western world is the lower order purpose of existence, in which you would like to become very rich, you should have all the money, you should have resources, you should have the best of the health. and even if it comes at the cost of others, it is fine. My kitty should be full. So that's where you find the US, finding it so natural and so ethical to sell weapons in the entire world, and on the other side thinking about themselves as a country which is promoting peace. So that is the lower order purpose of existence. But this lower order purpose of existence is more motivated by the Charvak Darshan, which we find in our philosophy. But our philosophy has laid the emphasis on Vedic Darshan. So which is what we emphasize at Banasthali, the Vedic Darshan, because the Vedic Darshan talks about higher order purpose of existence. So from LOPE to HOP, this is what is our message in Banasthali. That is what we feel that our students should go for in the time to come. We also tell the students that once they are moving from the LOPE to the HOP, just like you are moving in a train, so one intermediate station will also come. And that intermediate station name is MOP, that is medium order purpose of existence, where you try that, okay, I should do something for the society, I should be following the sustainable development goals, for example. So that is, the MOP in which, but then the best is to go for HOP. So LOP to HOP, I think this is something that is very important and we should go for it. And this idea of HOP came from a person based in Bangalore, Professor Subhash Sharma, who is also one of the foundation pillars of our university. So this is what we try to emphasize. At the same time, we also alert the students that there can be something below LOPE also, and that is ultra lower order purpose of existence. And that is what we find the terrorists are doing today, because they want to make themselves happy by making others unhappy in all the counts, and they find that that is quite natural. So that is the ultra lower order purpose of existence, for which also we alert the people around. And since there is an ultra word towards LOP, naturally there is a question, and we come across that question from the students also, that is there something beyond HOP? Is there something beyond higher order purpose of existence? So yes, there can be ultra higher order purpose of existence where God decides to make you a guru. But guru is not a teacher, not a supervisor, not a mentor, not a master. The guru is the one who can take you, who can help you in crossing the Bhav Sagar, as we say in our culture. Bhav Sagar se kargrahi, kare parli param, om jai 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 Gurudev. So the guru is on the UHOP, ultra higher order purpose of existence, because only the guru has the power to take you, away and cross the river of the Bhav Sagar, as we talk about. So if we see our great culture, then we find that Bhagwan Ram, Bhagwan Krishna, they also had to take the help of a guru in their enlightenment. So it is there in the system. So the emphasis on guru. But here we tell the students a very important thing, that please be very careful about the self-proclaimed gurus. Be very careful, because God has not appointed any agents. Guru is equal to God and God is Guru. So there is no difference. So that's why we use that famous shloka, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. The Guru is the one who is equivalent to Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. So if someone claims that I am a Guru, then please test. If this is true, then you are very lucky that you found a Guru. Otherwise not. So that's what one has to be very, very careful as far as, who is the Guru is concerned. And that's where, again coming back, I mentioned about Bhagwan Krishna shot arrows in different directions. So one arrow fell at a place where the cuckoo was singing very well. Pandavas were impressed. They said, what a beautiful voice the cuckoo has. Oh, but look at the claw of the cuckoo. She is holding a rabbit and is eating the rabbit in between singing this beautiful song. So Bhagwan Krishna gave the interpretation that in Kali Yuga, there will be so many proclaimed saints, when they'll speak, you'll say, oh, wow, we see them, how well they speak, they are the ultimate, and what can be better than this? But their eye is more on your resources, your money, your power, and only for that they are there. So our culture says that it is not difficult that someone does a tapasya and acquires the power, whereby a person can know what is happening in the mind of the other person. So the person can look at the person and say, okay, you are thinking about this. And the moment this happens, then people feel that, okay, what a terrific person, and this person is a guru. Or if the person closes the fist, opens the fist, and there is a flower and gives it to you, oh, that is again, something special, the person is a guru. But no, when someone does tapasya, then these powers come to the person one after other. If the person ends the tapasya at this moment and again goes back to the material world, the mindset is still materialistic. But people consider this person to be a special person. The person would speak like the best. The person will demonstrate. The person will cure some diseases. He will give the best advice and all. And one considers that person as a guru. So we also tell the students that please be very careful about the self-proclaimed such people and follow your own path, because otherwise you will be doing more harm to yourself rather than not doing anything. So that is a different perspective of spirituality that we try to give to the students. Along with that, also telling them that let us respect all the religions. So Sanatana Dharma is of course the oldest, the premier one, but that doesn't mean that we should think about insulting other religions. No, absolutely no. We can honor all the religions, but we should also realize that our culture, our Sanatana Dharma has the real mantra for the success towards the life. So that is a different perspective, Devashish ji, that we give to our students. So that is one. Second is that when we talk about our programs in the area of business management, we started in 1996. So we have been teaching Bharatiya Prabandhan, and we are very happy that now in the new education policy, the IKS has been given so much of the emphasis. But we have been doing this since 1996, and we are very happy that under the leadership of our wonderful and charismatic Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, this new education policy has come up for the betterment of the entire education sector. Third thing that I would like to mention, that we have also focused on the ideas, because we believe that our country can move towards the path of Viksit Bharat only if we do innovation, and only if the world realizes that it is the time to come from Harvard to Haridwar. So for that matter, we have come up with many things. For example, we have tried to simplify some of the learnings of Bhagavad Gita by coming up with the ABCDE model of Bhagavad Gita, in which A stands for action, B is for benevolence, C is for courage, D is for devotion, and E is for emotional detachment. So we feel that this is really quite helpful as far as a person is concerned to understand and act on the point of Bhagavad Gita. We have also conceptualized Bhartiya model of digital literacy in 2015, and we are also thankful to Government of India for recently supporting it from an ICSSR project also. So Bhartiya model of digital literacy provides digital literacy in the cultural perspective, whereby some of the problems we are witnessing in the society, like the youth are excessively hooked up to the mobile. Now some people are using the term mobile addiction also, or the other gadgets. So these kind of things, the cyber security part, the social angle as far as the usage of mobile etc. is concerned, the family issues and all. So these all can be catered if we follow the Bharatiya model of digital literacy. So we try to educate our students on this also. Then we have also come up with one more concept, that is Bharatiya model of personal finance. So personal finance traditionally comprises of things like investment management, estate planning, liquidity planning, budgeting, risk management, etc. So to that we have tried to add the part of Satvik Dan also, because Satvik Dan is also very important as far as the overall money and its management is concerned. If we see our ancient culture, then our ancient culture talks about the different ways or phases in which the money goes. So whether it is spending, or whether it goes to the dan, or the destruction. So this is what we talk about in our ancient culture. So the Bharatiya model of personal finance says that once you have resources with you, or whatever resources you have with you, the first thing that should come to your mind is Satvik Dan. Again, for Satvik Dan, I would request everyone seeing this talk to Google and see that what happened towards the end of Mahabharata, where a golden mongoose came to the Raj Darbar of King Yudhishthir. And what happened? So what is the golden mongoose story? So if we see that golden mongoose story, then we get a perspective of Satvik Dan. So Satvik Dan, Shubh Labh. Now the Western context is post-tax profit. So if you have money and you have paid tax, the post-tax money is called as good money. In India, we say that it is not just about tax, it is also about Shubh Labh. So Shubh means anything that helps you in going towards the part of bhakti. That is the essence of spirituality, the oneness with God. So Bharatiya model of personal finance, we feel that is one thing. Then we have also come up with another concept of Bharat Samriddhi mark, in which we try to figure out that who are the real Bharatiya organizations. So imagine if we have an index, we have some points, we have some numeric system on which all the organizations working in Bharat, they are rated, or they have some point system, an index. It will become easier for a Bharatiya to find out that if this organization is a lot Bharatiya as defined by the index points, so why shouldn't I buy goods and services from this organization? So this is Bharat Samriddhi mark also, on which we work. So like that we have tried to come up with many concepts. And also on the individual work efficiency, everyone knows about a concept called as work-life balance. So learning from Bhagavad Gita, we have conceptualized a concept, work-life natural fusion. So work-life natural fusion again takes up the thing that it's not a question of balancing between work and life. It is not a sustainable thing at all, but rather the time is for integration. And in line with the Sthiti Pragya concept which is given in Bhagavad Gita, we can look at work and life towards an integration and a fusion. So what I mean to say is that these ideas that we have come up, these are just few ideas, but educational institutions in India, they have a reservoir of intellectuals. So why not, every institution tries to come up with some new ideas, and these ideas not just in the area of humanities or management or so, but in all the domains. So if we do it, then it will help us in coming towards going towards the path of Viksit Bharat in 2047. So these ideas are going to help. Imbibing the Bharti Prabandhan, Bharti culture in the programs will be very useful. And also giving the right perspective of spirituality to the students is also very, very important, because only if we are able to do it, then only people will be able to know the real essence of Bharti culture, and will be able to have a holistic foundation throughout. And the 2047 Bharat which I see, this will not just be rich in terms of the physical resources, but also the mental well-being of everyone will be top class. We would continue to march towards the goals of spirituality. And everyone, each and every Bhartiya should realize that Bade Dhan Bhag Manush Tan Pava. So if you are born as a human being, you are so lucky. And but then if you just live as far as your instincts are concerned, then as I talked about, you will be only be confining yourself to the lower order purpose of existence, that is LOPE. For going towards the HOPE path, there is no other way but to take up spirituality in the right perspective and move towards it. And the great thing in our culture is that we are so flexible. You know, so there are so many routes which are suggested. So you can take the Gyan Marg, you can take the Bhakti Marg. So whatever marg you would like to take, and through that marg you can feel the oneness with God. So what Devashish you asked about, this is what we try to do at Banasthali, that the new ideas, the right perspective and all, we orient our students apart from what we do traditionally in any educational university, so that the students' progression etc. is also ensured. So thereby progression along with the right mindset, this will help towards realizing the goal which I said about the golden lion in 2047. So if we go back to the history, then we find that our great universities like Nalanda and Takshila were set on fire. They were so jealous about our great culture, and the more they started knowing about our culture, the more they used to feel the inferiority. So what to do? Because they knew that beyond a point we can't move further, and only way for us to sustain is to destroy each and everything. And look at their fear at that point of time. They were all in power and everything. Still they felt that the model on which we are working is not sustainable. That's why our temples, our universities, our other institutions and all, they tried to destroy all of these. And they felt that by destroying in the physical form, they would be able to destroy us as a culture. But that couldn't happen, So like somebody said, Iqbal I think said, "Kuch baat hai ki hasti mitti nahi hamari, sadiyon raha hai dushman dore jahan hamara." But I think that now when these university campuses were set on fire, and large number of books etc. and all were there which were destroyed, but it is said that a few of the books, whichever people could find, they just took those with them and ran away. And thereby a lot of things have come up. For example, in Ayurveda we talk about the Sukshma Vigyan also. So I believe that that is the root from which the genesis of homeopathy came up. So as such, if we see our tradition and all, our sages, they all believed, rishis, they believed in doing the best for the world. They didn't think about anything for their own personal benefit or so. So that's why whatever they discovered, they brought it to the attention of everyone in the world and gave it free to everyone. Now intellectual property rights and all these have come up, and even though a lot of Western inventions etc. that we talk about, they are based on our culture and our literature, and things have been taken from there, and without acknowledgement these things have found place. But anyway, that is okay. But the important thing is that in the modern outlook and all, and talking about 2047, where we would require our intellectual property rights etc. to be very strong. So you are very correct that other countries like in China or even smaller countries, they are filing more patents and IPRs, they are quite ahead. So I think it's the time that we try to find new ideas by emphasizing on our rich culture. That is one. And second, innovation has to be made a part of the culture, and it should be in air. So strong emphasis on our culture, our Gurukul system will ensure that we produce people whose wisdom is better than others. So wisdom is also defined in an equation form W equal to R plus I. Wisdom equal to reason plus intuition, which takes up both the left and right side of the brain. So if we are better in the terms, if we improve further on both the parts of the logic and the intuition, then we will be able to do much better. New ideas can come up, and using the power of technology, we can come up with the IPRs much better than the rest of the world. So this has to be done, and the good part is that the government of India, compared to, if you see what was happening earlier, so last 10 to 15 years, the government of India has been also emphasizing a lot on the IPR, and there is a revolution, I would say, particularly last 10-12 years, where the IPRs have been growing. And I feel that what we talk about, the billion-dollar ideas and all, so they would also come up in the time to come, because the platform is all set very right. So I think the future is very bright as far as our nation is concerned, but at the same time we will have to nurture the leaders, because just institutions will not help. Like one of my colleagues, Dr. Ankur Joshi, has mentioned that we need to nurture the leaders of future, so that the institutions can further strengthen, and what the government is trying to do from its side, that mission also gets a major boost, and the results are reflected in more number of IPR in the time to come.